Hello, you guys. I have been working on the website non-stop for a week. I am exhausted, but it's almost ready. I'm very, very excited. So, today, I wanted to share with you something new that I'm trying. I have not done this before, and a lot of people who ask me questions, which is fantastic, feel free to keep doing that, or just make comments, mention things about dry fasting because it's sort of this like mysterious thing. People have heard about water fasting for centuries, and people have heard about snake juice fasting or even like regular juice fasting. Like a while back, there was that essentially juice fast called the Master Cleanse that got really popular. But people don't hear a lot about dry fasting because there is this big push in the medical community to make you believe that if you go longer than, like, I've heard 3 days without water, that you will perish. Now, I, again, for the gajillionth time, am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm just saying that if you spent any amount of time on this channel, that you know that that's not true from my personal experience, and I am telling you the absolute complete truth about everything that I've been through. So if you're curious about dry fasting, I wanted to let you know something that I'm trying that could be helpful. So incrementally is maybe one of the best ways to alter the way that you treat your body. A lot of times people get on like a health kick, or maybe they get a diagnosis, or they have something like negative happen to them. Maybe like you find something that doesn't fit, or you find out you have to go somewhere and fit into something, or you just look at yourself and you're tired of feeling that way or looking that way, and then you go, that's it, I'm changing everything. But unfortunately, changing your health like that a lot of times is not sustainable, because if you wake up one day with no warning and cut everything out of your life, either by changing what you're allowed to eat or when you're allowed to eat or how often you're allowed to eat, your brain hasn't gotten the chance to come along on that drastic journey with you. Your brain is still used to doing what you were doing before that got you into that situation in the first place. So if you make changes incrementally, you give the entirety of you time to catch up with you. And I'm really big on trying to make sure that you have what I would call like total health or complete health. So mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so you can have one and be lacking the other three, or even have a couple of them and be missing a couple of them, and you're not going to feel as great as you could. Or you may even backslide or stumble back into old habits if you're not bringing the entirety of yourself along with you. So if you move things along incrementally, it'll help to give you time to make sure that every aspect of you is willing and ready to make these changes. So with a dry fast, when I started dry fasting, the first one I ever did was short. I think it was 16 hours. And that felt really long because it was like psyching myself up for it before it started. Like, oh no, I'm not allowed to drink anything for the next 16 hours. What am I going to do? How am I going to distract myself? What if I get thirsty? I'm scared. I'm nervous. I can't do it. Yeah. And as I've mentioned to other people, either in comments or maybe even in videos, I work a lot, and so I try to schedule at least the start of my dry fast for during the work week, because I'm so busy that I don't realize what I'm lacking as much, and it really helps, because if you can keep your mind busy, you can bring your body along and get it to do a lot of different things. Unfortunately, a lot of our health issues, our self-caused health issues, are mental. They're not physical. The way you treat your body is mental more than it is physical. You getting 6 hours into a fast and then abandoning it because you're hungry, that's mental. It's not physical. you not only most likely have enough calories in your body from however many years of eating normally, but you probably still have enough energy in your system from the last time you ate that day. But your mind says, no, I can't do it. I'm hungry. We have to stop. Go find me something to eat. So if you do incremental changes, you can start at whatever increment works for you. Listen to your body, and move up from there. So historically, I did a 16 and then I did a 20. And then I think I had anticipated doing a 24, but when I got to 24, I still felt okay. So I believe my third practice dry fast was actually 30 hours. And then I believe I did one more short one that was in that same time frame. And then the next one I did was 5 days. I just woke up one Monday and I said, let's just go until I can't go anymore. I didn't set a time on it. I just started. And it was a Monday morning. And when I got to the end of that week, I was ready to stop. I think I had somewhere to go too. So socially, it made sense to stop. And increasing your fasting incrementally is another way to work your way into it. If you have people in your life who don't understand a fasting focused lifestyle, or if you have a busy social calendar that requires you to be around people, which a few months ago wasn't as much an issue, but now that things are starting to reopen, you may find that you have to go places either for work or for other reasons, but you don't want to go into the whole big fasting conversation with people, which can be very stressful when you're still trying to figure it out for yourself. You can set up incremental fasts and border them with things that you have to do around other people. So, along that same line, what I'm doing right now is another type of incremental dry fast. And it started the week after I finished my 21-day fast. So, the week after my 21-day fast, I sort of unexpectedly did a 1-day fast because I wasn't hungry at all. Because after 3 weeks, my body had just gotten used to not eating. And so mentally, I wasn't hungry, but physically, but I also wasn't thinking about food mentally, because 3 weeks of not eating had gotten me out of the habit of thinking about food. And a lot of times you go get food because you were thinking about food, not because you were hungry. So the following week, I did a 2-day dry fast just to kind of exercise the muscles a little bit, One of the things I did when I started the fasting focused lifestyle about a year and a half ago was that I did too much too soon. I did too much fasting in a row, and some of them were too long. So by the time I got to the end of last summer, I had what I would call fasting fatigue. And so then I had something come up that was extremely frustrating for me. And instead of being able to handle it calmly, spiritually and emotionally, it sort of sent me off the rails. And I spent from September to December of last year just sort of doing whatever I wanted. I fasted maybe 1 day a week or not at all. I was just sort of eating very, very loosely with no discipline. I was eating junk food, which is not even in my normal frame of eating that I have for myself, whether I'm fasting or not. Everything went downhill. And if you look at videos of me from January of this year, I look heavier, because 4 months of eating like that will cause you to gain weight, which is what happened. And so when I realized what had happened, I stopped, turned around, and started heading back in the right direction. To avoid a situation like that for yourself, where you sort of fast yourself into not wanting to do it anymore, the incremental way is another way that you can help yourself not get tired of it. So, and I didn't want to have that happen after fasting for 21 days. So then I did 2 days. This past week, I did a 3-day dry fast. And so my plan is to do a 4-day dry fast next week, probably starting on Monday and going until Thursday. And I'm just going to keep these little increments and see how it goes. I doubt I will go past 7. Anything longer than a 7-day dry fast for me starts to get physically uncomfortable. But I can make it up to there without really any issue at all because I've done it a bunch of times. But for you, maybe you just want to spend 3 or 4 weeks increasing the increments by a few hours at a time. You don't have to jump straight into a 3 or a 5-day dry fast if you don't feel ready for that. And again, I think I said this in one of the other videos, I am not superhuman. I like to challenge myself, but I also have been doing this for a while, and so I've kind of given myself the freedom and the time and the space to get good at it. And I believe fasting is a skill that you can acquire, like many other things in life. And then when you add some of the spiritual aspects to it that help increase your endurance, it gets even easier. So that's just a few tips for you guys who have been asking questions about how do you stay focused, how do you get into dry fasting, how do you dry fast for as long as you do. Take it slow, listen to your body, and remember the option of going incrementally to make sure you get your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions along on the journey with you, which will hopefully make it not only last longer, but go better. All right, guys, I gotta run, but I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Click subscribe. Bye.